best entrepreneurial talent in the world. You know this, capital is the lifeblood of American innovation. And therefore, to be successful, we need to embrace the role in our department of private capital, which...
Good Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Gabriela Primus.
I'm Brian Jackson. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning, including the body of a missing CPS teacher has been found. What her family is now saying.
We now know what time the Bears will play the Rams on Sunday, and head coach Ben Johnson has a lot of praise for Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford.
We're expecting it to be very, very cold on Sunday, but for this Tuesday morning, taking a live look outside, Mike says this is going to be our last day of mild temperatures for quite some time. Good morning, Mike.
But it's going to be even warmer than it was yesterday. Wasn't it yesterday afternoon? Nice. Oh, boy.
Very nice.
Beautiful sunshine and in the 40s. Today won't be quite as sunny, but it's going to be a few degrees milder. We have quite a bit of cloud cover across the area right now. Here we are looking across the river. We got Marina City there. Quite a bit of cloud cover. Today, you're going to see a mixture of clouds and sunshine, though, and temperatures getting up into the low 50s. It'll be 40 at 9, 47 at noon, 52 degrees at 4 o'clock. Right now, most of us are pretty close to freezing or a little bit above. We got 37 at O'Hare, Gary, the lakefront, 35 at Woodstock, 36 at Morris, and it is freezing in Valparaiso, but we're headed for the low 50s this afternoon. Back to you both.
All right, thank you, Mike. As we hinted, the NFL has finalized a schedule for the divisional round of their playoffs.
The Bears will host the Rams on Sunday with a kickoff at 5:30 Central. The Rams are 0-2 at Soldier Field under head coach Sean McVay. Chicago won last year's meeting 28-14. The Bears holding quarterback Matthew Stafford without a touchdown. But this is a different Rams team this season. They've led the NFL in scoring and total yards, led by Stafford, who's now playing at an MVP level. It is something that Ben Johnson is not surprised with. He spent 2 seasons with Stafford in Detroit.
So much respect for that guy. I mean, you talk about the ultimate competitor. He's one of the more supremely talented throwers of the football I've ever been around in my life. He's outstanding. I think he's a great teammate. But what I think second to none with him is his toughness, physical toughness. Like this guy's gone through a lot, and yet finds a way to will himself onto the field to be there for his teammates. So when you look at him from just a competitor standpoint, like this is a really good player.
The last time the Bears played the Rams in the playoffs was back in 1986 on their way to winning the Super Bowl.
All right, back to some news of the day. Illinois is suing the Department of Homeland Security in response to tactics used by ICE and Border Protection agents in the state. It argues ICE and Border Patrol agents have been using illegal and dangerous tactics, including using tear gas and swapping or altering license plates. Secretary of State Alexi Giannullia says Illinois will not stand for federal agents disregarding laws and compromising public safety.
We have a fundamental responsibility to protect our residents, to uphold the law, and to hold people accountable for their illegal actions. With help from Illinoisans using our Plate Watch hotline, we gathered the evidence that helped form one of the foundations for this lawsuit.
The lawsuit is asking a federal court to order agents in Illinois to stop using illegal tactics, including deploying tear gas without warning. Now, the Department of Homeland Security is reacting with Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin saying in part, quote, "It really is outstanding that the left can miraculously rediscover the 10th Amendment when they don't want federal law enforcement officers to enforce federal law," end quote. Now, leaders in Minnesota are suing the Department of Homeland Security to end immigration enforcement efforts there as well. Protests and clashes with federal agents are ongoing in Minneapolis. A new lawsuit claims DHS is violating the rights of Minnesota and the Twin Cities and targeting them for political reasons. It asks a judge to halt or limit the immigration enforcement.
Time is now 4:34 this morning. After more than a week of searching, the body of a missing CPS teacher has been found. The body of 53-year-old Linda Brown was found in Lake Michigan on Monday near 31st and Harbor. Family says Linda had been dealing with panic attacks and mental health issues leading up to her disappearance. Her family is grateful for all the support from friends and strangers. They're asking for privacy for Linda's husband and their family as they navigate this difficult time.
He is beside himself. He is Just very, very upset. Again, this wasn't the outcome any of us was hoping for, especially Antoine. He really thought that we would bring Linda home safely and she would be alive and well. So he is very deep in grief right now as well. He cannot. He's having a hard time speaking and processing his thoughts, obviously, why I'm taking over as the spokesperson for my family in general. But yeah, he's beside himself. He just lost the love of his life.
Right now, the cause of death is still unknown, pending an autopsy. Police are investigating after a woman was shot right outside of Rush University Medical Center where she works. She was shot early yesterday morning in a drive-by shooting while parked near the hospital. Police have not said if this was a targeted incident, and no one has been arrested. Police are looking for a dark-colored sedan. But a man accused of killing an Ohio dentist and his wife is waiving extradition after he was arrested in Illinois. Michael David McKee was in Winnebago County courtroom yesterday. He's accused of killing his ex-wife, Monique Tepe, and her husband, Spencer, in their home in Columbus back on December the 30th. He was arrested in Rockford, where he is a surgeon. In a suburb of LaGrange, the village is debating whether to demolish a historic Little Antique Mall. It is near the corner of East Burlington and 6th Avenue, close to Ogden Avenue. This proposal would replace the space with a condominium development. At a village meeting last night, residents say that the proposal disregards the historical significance of the building.
Jackson Storage has lived many lives and has many lives to live yet. If the antique mall is kaput, that's a shame, but okay. It's the historic structure we must preserve. It's a rare gem, and we can use it, repurpose it, convert it.
Currently, more than 70 small business owners operate within that building.
All right, the Bears are focusing on the Rams, but they're still reflecting and on the high of that win against the Packers.
Yeah, we haven't quite moved on just yet. Mike has a look at, as we're moving forward to seeing the Rams this weekend.
That's right. Well, the rivalry between the Bears and Packers certainly cranked up during last weekend's wild card game. Several Packers players talked about wanting to play the Bears and hoping to end their season. Well, head coach Ben Johnson gave his feelings about the Packers during yesterday's press conference at Hallis Hall.
There's a rivalry that exists between these two teams, something that I fully recognize and I'm a part of. And yeah, I mean, I don't like that team. So George and I have talked and we're on the same page.
I am all for that. I am all for that. All right, the Bears are going to host the Rams in the divisional round game. That game is Sunday, and we know what time it is, 5:30. Rams QB Matthew Stafford is going into Sunday's game with a little bit of an injury. The 37-year-old has a sprained index finger, and it is on his throwing hand. It happened against the Panthers. X-rays did come back negative. Head coach Sean McVay says he doesn't think Stafford's going to have to wear anything on his finger or hand to protect that injury, and he will be good to go for Sunday. Final game of the wild card round was in Pittsburgh last night with the Steelers hosting the Texans. All Texans. Great night for their defense. They scored a pair of touchdowns on turnovers. They had a pick six right here, another fumble-rooski six. They held Aaron Rodgers to only 146 yards passing, 0 touchdowns. Texans coast to a 30-6 victory, and they will take on the Patriots in the division round. Not a good night for the Blackhawks hosting the Oilers. Connor McDavid, yeah, he's really good. Tyler Bertuzzi did find the back of the net, but they were already done by the time the Hawks got on the board. Hawks lose 4-1 to the Oilers. All right, weather-wise, we have a really mild day on the way today. Yesterday was so nice. We had sunshine in the afternoon. Temperatures got into the low to mid 40s. That live shot I just showed you there, it reflects quite a bit of cloud cover. There will be a breakup of that cloudiness, and we'll get some sun out there. And temperatures are going into the low 50s, but it won't be as sunny as it was yesterday afternoon. But by noon, already warming up nicely. So for the kids going to school today, maybe medium coats, hats and gloves optional. It's not that windy out there. You know, their ears aren't going to freeze off. We got 36 at Waukegan, 34 at Aurora, 34 at Kankakee. It is 34 at Michigan City. Michigan City, one of the spots favored to get some lake effect snow late tomorrow into early Thursday. Winds pretty much straight out of the south right now. We have speeds generally between about 10 and 18 miles per hour. The Futurecast shows the departure of some of this cloud cover. Yesterday mentioned the possibility of a sprinkle, and I said I was unimpressed with it. I'm even less impressed with any rainfall prospects today. What we will see, a little uptick in cloud cover tonight. This will be tied to the cold front that's coming through. And with that, there can be a brief snow shower overnight into tomorrow morning. That is not the main snow story. It's what's going to be going on downwind of the lake tomorrow afternoon and evening. Once again, maybe parts of Porter County get some snow, but it is mainly Michiana that will be dealing with the heavier snow. On the Illinois side, I'm not expecting any snow here, certainly not of any consequence, until we get to Thursday night and into Friday and Saturday. Today, let's just enjoy the mild weather while we can. 52 for the high. Southwest winds picking up at about 12 to 24 miles per hour. Back to you.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, President Trump is taking action against Iran for its crackdown on protesters.
And Senator Mark Kelly takes to the Senate floor to criticize Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth. We'll have the details when we come back.
Fox 32 News is brought to you.
Now on Good Day Chicago, after more than a week of searching, the body of a missing CPS teacher has been found. The body of 53-year-old Linda Brown was found in Lake Michigan on Monday near 31st and Harbor. The cause of death is still unknown, pending an autopsy.
Illinois is suing the Department of Homeland Security in response to tactics used by ICE and Border Protection agents in the state. It argues ICE and Border Patrol agents have been using illegal and dangerous tactics, including using tear gas and swapping or altering license plates.
The NFL has finalized the schedule for the divisional round of the playoffs. The Bears will host the Rams on Sunday, kickoff at 5:30. The Rams are 0-2 at Soldier Field under head coach Sean McVay.
Iran says it's ready for war, but open to talks following threats of U.S. airstrikes over Tehran's deadly crackdown on the country's largest protests in decades. According to human rights groups, over 580 people have been killed since the unrest began just over 2 weeks ago. More than 10,000 people have been arrested. The protests have been fueled by high inflation and economic instability in Iran. President Trump says countries doing business with Iran will face 25% tariffs from the U.S.
FBI says it has not found any surveillance video or other footage of a Border Patrol agent shooting that left 2 people injured in Portland. This all happened during a traffic stop last week. The FBI claims that shots were fired after the suspects backed into an agent's car. It did not identify which agent fired the shots. No one was recording body camera footage either. The driver was identified and charged with aggravated assault and property damage. The passenger is charged with illegal entry into the United States.
Arizona Senator Mark Kelly criticized Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth on the Senate floor. Kelly delivered a fiery speech in connection to his lawsuit filed against the Pentagon. The lawsuit is a response to U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issuing a formal letter of censure against Kelly. The letter comes 6 months after Kelly participated in a video urging troops to, quote, refuse illegal orders.
Pete Hegseth's unconstitutional crusade against me sends a chilling message to every retired member of the military. If you speak out and say something that the President and Secretary of Defense doesn't like, you will be censured, threatened with demotion, or even prosecuted.
Hegseth's efforts could potentially lower Kelly's military retirement rate of captain and reduce his retirement pay.
New security footage shows an arson at a Mississippi synagogue. The FBI says 19-year-old Stephen Pittman targeted the Beth Israel congregation in Jackson because of its, quote, Jewish ties. The suspect could be seen pouring a flammable liquid on the floor and the couch in the lobby of the building on Saturday. He was later arrested and no one was hurt. The Beth Israel Synagogue is the oldest synagogue in the state of Mississippi.
The judge overseeing Luigi Mangioni's federal trial is ordering a new hearing. It'll focus on whether the 27-year-old's backpack was lawfully searched during his arrest. At some point, the judge is also expected to rule whether Mangioni could face the death penalty if he's convicted in the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Well, there was a surprise meeting at the Vatican yesterday where Pope Leo met with Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Machado is touring Europe and the U.S. after she reemerged in December after 11 months in hiding to accept her Nobel Peace Prize in Norway. Pope Leo has called for Venezuela to remain an independent country after U.S. forces captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro from his compound. Machado will meet with President Trump at the White House on Thursday.
All right, 4:47 now. Mike Kaplan, we're looking at just today because the next couple days we don't really want to talk about that cold weather coming through.
Yeah, but we have to look at Sunday. We really need. We got to talk about
Sunday. And Sunday.
Right. All right. Well, here's the deal. Today's going to be by far the warmest day of the lot, and it may be the warmest day for quite some time. But Gabrielle is right. We're talking about some snow moving back into the picture. It's something we really haven't seen much of in the past couple of weeks. So here's what we've got. Nothing today. Tomorrow, maybe a dusting here or there. The main snow event, though, is going to be well off to the east of Chicago. That will be lake effect. There's a possibility that you get a couple of inches of snow, especially northeastern Porter County. But I think the bigger amounts are going to be a little bit farther to the east, maybe parts of Berrien County towards South Bend. That is where really disruptive snowfall could create some havoc for travel in that area. Today, partly sunny skies, 52 for the high. Southwest winds at about 12 to 24, so another fairly breezy day. Tonight will be mostly cloudy, a chance of a brief shower, rain, or a wet snowflake late. No big deal with that. Temperature bottoming out at 28 degrees. Tomorrow's high will be at midnight. I'm going to go with 38 degrees. There can be a brief snow shower in the morning, and then we'll watch for that lake effect impacting parts of northwest Indiana and southwest Michigan. A colder day at Thursday, a high of 26. With some snow coming in at night, continuing into Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, a high of 18. By the time the Bears are playing, temperatures will be even colder than that, with wind chills close to zero. For the King holiday, partly sunny skies, looks like a dry day with a high temperature of 22. Gabby, Brian?
Thank you, Mike.
Where Paramount is escalating its hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, filing a lawsuit.
And we have an update on accusations against Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman. We'll have the details soon.
I'm John Morgan of
Notre Dame football coach Marcus Freeman will not face charges after a battery allegation at a high school wrestling match. Prosecutors say that video and witness statements do not support claims that Freeman pushed an assistant coach during the January 3rd tournament. Police have now closed the case.
15,000 nurses in the 3 hospital systems hit the picket line in New York City. The facilities they work at have remained open, hiring temporary nurses in droves to offset those on strike. They're asking for improved staffing and security and better pay. Hospital systems have pushed back on demands, calling them unrealistic. The strike is an early test of the newly sworn-in mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. He visited the picket lines yesterday, praising the nurses' actions.
Paramount is escalating its hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. The company filed a lawsuit in Delaware to force Warner Brothers to disclose to shareholders how it values their bid compared to the bid from Netflix. Last week, Warner Brothers Discovery said its board determined Paramount's $77.9 billion offer was not in the best interest of the company or its shareholders. They're now backing the $72 billion deal from Netflix instead.
They want to get 7. They can use the clock. Williams throwing, and it's caught for the touchdown by DJ Moore.
There it was. Saturday's Bears game was so loud, some said you could even feel it. And some even said they felt Soldier Field shaking, including Cassie Carlson.
Yeah, for sure, right? Is it normal? Is it dangerous? Fox Chicago's Brett Pugansky shows how fans can impact the final score.
Saturday was memorable for a few reasons. Bears won the first playoff game since 2011, beat the Green Bay Packers, knocked them out of the playoffs, take the rubber match in that series and the playoffs.
The best Soldier Field crowd I've heard in my 4 years.
It wasn't just loud, it felt different.
I've done 31 games in the stadium. It's the first time I feel it shaking like this.
I felt it under my feet first, and it's like this rumble of like what's going on here, and then you felt it on where your computer stood.
You could definitely feel it in the stands. I've never felt Soldier Field that explode with that.
I called the Bears about the decibel level. I'm still waiting to hear back.
You know, there's been multiple instances where sounds been recorded during sporting events that's in excess of 120 decibels.
North of 120 decibels, how would you describe that feeling?
You feel like you're at a rock concert, and at times, you know, some people even describe it as being close to a jet engine.
I talked to Kevin Butler, not that Kevin Butler.
I've heard that a few times, yes.
Kevin Butler, the engineer.
And an acoustical consultant within our venue sector at Henderson Engineers.
People were describing it being so loud that the stadium was shaking.
Yes, that has happened before. Sound is a pressure wave, which can cause materials to vibrate. So when you get 60,000 plus fans yelling, cheering, stomping, jumping around, you know, that can add a lot of energy into the stadium and into the structure and cause vibration and feel that sensation.
When people see a stadium shake, should they have to worry about their safety?
There's nothing to be concerned about from a safety standpoint. Buildings are designed so that they're not completely rigid. They have some flex to help them move and dissipate vibration.
It's been so loud, they've even caused seismic activity. The famous Seattle Seahawks game in 2011, now known as the Beastquake, and Taylor Swift's concert in 2023, both happen to be in the same venue. One geologist talked about why they stand out.
And with the original Beastquake, it was obvious it was the crowd. But in a concert, there's subwoofers, right? There are, you know, the amazing sound system that is putting the beat into the ground. And of course, there's 70,000+ people, many of whom are actually on the field dancing.
There wasn't any seismic activity for Bears-Packers Saturday, but could that change Sunday? Brett Pugansky, Fox Chicago.
Well done, Brett. That investigative
Very well done, for sure, right? A lot of folks said they felt the stadium rocking. Can you imagine if we win this Sunday?
Well, now, see, here's the thing. Do you think it will be as loud for the Rams as it was for the Packers? I just think that maybe...
That's a good point.
I mean,
yeah,
good point.
I know it was a rivalry and stuff, but it's still a really big game on the line.
I mean, you know, if Carlos Sanchez hits a game-winning field goal to put us in the NFC Championship,
it will be thumping. It will be thumping there. I like how you're thinking there. And he has been good.
He has.
I'm glad you bring up Kyrie. He kept us in several games. All right, let's talk about the weather here, and we'll get to that Bears outlook here, too. I'll show you the actual Bears forecast. So out there right now, off to the north, a couple little rain showers across Wisconsin, some snow in the UP and closer to Lake Superior. You see this one little echo here northwest of Rockford. That's That's not even reaching the ground, but we are seeing some cloud cover out there, and that will be with us during at least the morning hours here. I do expect to see some breaks in the cloud cover later on, so it won't be completely overcast. But why don't we talk about that Bears game and what we're going to see against the Rams? Burr kickoff, which we now know will be at 5:30, 16 degrees. By halftime, the wind chill will be near zero with 13 degrees. And when the Bears are wrapping up that post-Cairo Santos field goal victory, even colder for the Rams. It will be 11 degrees for Bears fans, but it'll feel like 20 below for them. Let's look at the rest of the 7-day here, which features one warm day and then some more wintry stuff. Today up to 52 degrees. We'll get to 38 at midnight tomorrow. That'll be the warmest part of the day. Maybe a brief snow shower, especially in the morning. I just don't think there's going to be much. It's lake effect late tomorrow into Thursday, especially across parts of northwest Indiana. I think more so focus on LaPorte and Berrien County, but maybe hitting parts of Porter County as well. 26 for the high Thursday, 34 on Friday. We get some light snow across all of Chicagoland Thursday night into Saturday. Maybe a couple, 3 inches total accumulation during that time frame. And then just plain cold Sunday, and for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, temperatures only in the low 20s, but it looks like a dry day. 4:57. We'll be right back with more Good Day after this.
Sports.
The Department of Homeland Security is investing $115 million in